is the three body problem. Only two episodes in,
Okay.
very strong. We're probably
Mm.
only averaging, one a week, if that.
Sure.
Um, but they're gonna try and pump those numbers up. But I think Sam said it the other day, and I felt the exact same way. She goes, "God, I hope this doesn't end. Like, I hope this doesn't suck, because we like it. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
sci-fi. It feels like so hit or miss sometimes, especially on TV.
Mm.
The
It has like
genre can be,
schlocky is my biggest thing with TV sci-fi.
yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
It's so hit or miss. Um, but so far, and I like some of the subplots are like, where the fuck is this going? But I have faith.
I tell you, it all
I'm
comes
sure it
together,
does.
yeah.
So, because I know the source material is very highly regarded,
Mm.
and I know people love season one, and there's more coming and all that. So all those things are very good signs. But yeah, there are moments where it's like like the stars turning off and on was interesting. The
Yeah.
results of the Large Hadron Collider, very like that stuff is so interesting. But the video game plot, the VR plot, I'm like, what
I
is that?
remember, yeah,
Yeah,
when
it
I
seems so out of place, but I'm sure it's there
yeah,
for a reason.
when that first came up, I was like, "Oh, okay. This is like the beginning of like the stuff that I don't like." I'm not
Yeah,
a it's fine. Like we like solo leveling, we like Shangri-La Frontier, which is very like, VR, AR forward. Or gamified things or whatever. Um it's just like, like okay, I'll just and then it just gets to a point where like, oh, like of course, like that was like the route that was taken, to deliver this story to you. And like
sure,
it all
sure.
kind of like, but great cast, incredible such good chemistry. They do a really good job of showing like how difficult big groups of friends can be. And like
Yeah.
you'll see that like along the way, but just like everyone has like very specific personality, kind of, it's yeah, everyone has history.
Well,
Very good
D&D
show.
have a, lot of experience handling an ensemble cast
Hmm.
and then tanking all their storylines. But I'm sure that won't happen this time, non-plan.
Well, so I started reading the book, and the show is a wild departure from the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they very much like they kind
Not
of
shocking.
no, but
I
like
can't even be mad.
again from what I've read so far, and like I watched like a couple of videos, like just trying to like you finish the show like Easter eggs
Of
here and
course.
there and this and that.
Yeah.
And like they definitely did this thing where they're pulling stuff from like the third book and the second book, and like the whole cast is like an amalgamation of like a couple characters each.
Right,
So
right.
like,
Sometimes that makes
yeah,
sense, right?
it makes sense. Like no, I don't from what I understand, like next with the exception of one member, none of like the like the group of friends are in the books. They're all like show
Right.
creations.
Okay.
So, but I like the show. I like the book so
I
far,
was gonna
really,
say,
so yeah.
but
Yeah.
season one of the show got high, well reviewed, so
Hmm.
we'll see if they can stick a landing on that one.
Yeah.
Um, what else you got?
I got one little thing. Do you remember last year there was a show, a Wit Studio came out. It was like one of the Netflix partnerships they did. It was called The Grim Variations.
Nope, not
It
even
was like
remotely.
yeah, so it was like a six episode. They're doing adaptations of the Brothers Grimm stories. So like the first one is I don't even know. I didn't realize they wrote it, but like the first one is Cinderella. The
Yep.
second one is like Little Red Riding Hood. I've only watched the first two. Um, pretty good. Like just like amazing looking studio wit. Typical like they're like they always just put out amazing looking stuff. Um, they I don't know the of the two that I watched, like the first one, the Cinderella one, I thought was like really well done. They took the story of
Mm.
Cinderella, set it in a certain period. I forget the time period in Japan. Again, like it's not no one's like called Cinderella, but like you can clear like the motions. They do like a really cool thing, the inverse, where it's the evil stepsisters, like they might have been the victims.
Right.
By
Okay.
not necessarily Cinderella, but like other people like at hand, and just they're like 45 minutes each, and just kind of like a really kind of cool like playing around with
45 minutes each.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're like kind of like almost like short movies. Like they're not doesn't there's no continuation between each one. Like I think
Right,
the
right,
other
right.
one's Cinderella, Little Red
Is it
Riding Hood.
Crunchyroll?
No, Netflix as well. Because Wit Studio has that partnership with them.
Oh,
They've been doing a
yes.
lot
I
of
remember
stuff.
now. I remember now, yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's like it was good and it was like, didn't blow me away, but it's like I just get more stuff from them. The second one I enjoyed way less. They did this whole thing about like almost like they tackled like Blade Runner time period where like there's only one little pocket.
Hmm.
of the world that's habitable, like people that live down in the desert, and then people live up in this like
Yeah.
in this city where it's essentially like a blank slate city. They're all the rich people live up there, but they color the world in themselves by taking like methamphetamines, like like putting drops in their eyes,
Nice.
and they're
I'm seeing a
like
lot of this in movies and TV lately.
yeah, and it's like nanobots in the drugs, and they're like kind of affecting your eyesight and your brain, and kind of
Sure.
like building the world like what you want to see. Kind of cool. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see like these stories have like fresh takes on like 100-year-old, 200-year-old stories.
Sure. Yeah. No.
But other than that, yeah, no, that's like I checked them out. It didn't grab me enough. Like I feel like I had to watch all of them right away. I think I'll kind of
Yeah.
like piecemeal my way. But the Cinderella one, the opening one, was really, really good, really well done. I think I'll watch that one again just to kind of like
Sure.
see like there's some tells apparently when I was reading on Reddit. I was like, oh, like this here, like in the first like 30 seconds, like did you catch this? Like clearly there's a setup for a moment later. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to going back and at least watching that one again. But yeah, no, other than that,
Well,
actually, a little bit of news. Did you get 30 million copies sold of Cyberpunk 2077?
wow. Awesome.
And with the announcement, they're doing a second season of a Cyberpunk anime.
Yes. Yeah. Wait. So is it going to be like Cyberpunk Edrunners S2, or is it a
They
completely unrelated?
they set a new story, but I
Okay.
believe Trigger's involved.
Okay.
So
Okay. New Cyberpunk.
yeah.
Uh, 30 million is great. Good for them.
hmm
Do you know how that I don't expect you to have figures, but do you know how that stacks up to like the other games that studio has done? It's Project Red, right?
Yeah, CD Projekt Red. Well, I think The Witcher 3 is one of the all-time selling games at this point. So it's probably I think it's in like the 100 range,
Jesus.
I think. I'm pretty sure it is.
Hmm.
What a good game. Yeah. Actually, I
So
picked
good
that
as
one up
Cyberpunk.
cheap on a sale for on
Nice.
Steam, so I'm gonna play that one on PC soon.
Nice.
Jump back in. But yeah.
Um, last on anime, I was just gonna say,